Welcome to Five Theory. I'm your girl L Boogie.
I'm busy.
Yes, and this week, guys, we're showing some love to something that is so long overdue. And in
Yes.
honor of Women History Month, we are celebrating the women in hip hop, the rappers and the MCs who
Yes.
didn't just step away from the game, but those that changed it. Those ones that
Yes.
who showed up bold, unapologetic, and fully themselves. And in
Yes.
doing so, they also gave a hope and inspiration to a whole generation of women with that permission to do the same. So, from
Yes.
lyricism to presence, from style to storytelling, these women set the tone for what we see today. And they didn't just wait for a seat at the table, they built their own. And
Yes.
because of that, the culture looks, sounds, and it also moves different today. So, in this
Yes.
episode, with all of that, and we are honoring the legacy, the influence, and also the power. So let's get right
Yes.
into it. Let's start it out.
Yes. I mean, and I
Talk to me.
love how you set the tone. I mean,
Yeah,
they didn't wait for a seat at the table.
they didn't.
They built their own table. They brought their own chair because again, I mean, being a woman is hard enough.
Yeah,
And then going
exactly.
into a industry that is led, and let's be honest, in the eyes of society, built by men and made for
And
men
for men, right?
and for
Exactly.
men, they didn't see women as rough or
hmm
hard, or having that life to be able to tell a story of
Exactly.
hardship. So,
Exactly.
so that's where having this conversation is important, and giving them their flowers. Because,
hmm
in this conversation, I mean, we could go for days,
Yeah.
weeks to talk about so many women who are influential in hip hop. So we are going to talk about some, but you know what? We just want to give kudos and flowers to those who really paved the way. Um,
Yeah.
for the Megan Stallions, for the Erica Masons, for the
Yeah.
Glorillas and those who come after. So
After that. Yeah.
so the first one, and we've said her name many a time, and
Ooh,
again,
yes.
still pissed off that she's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but it's coming.
Absolutely.
It's coming.
It is.
Queen
2027 is it.
Latifah.
Queen Latifah. Yes, we got to
Queen
give it to our
Latifah.
girl.
I mean,
Woo-hoo.
Queen Latifah. So it's been fun going down this rabbit hole of her career. Because let me tell you, I mean, this woman came out the gate
Yeah.
with a business mindset. Because I mean, recently, which I think is prophetic that we're talking about her, because
hmm
there was a documentary or a report or something I saw,
hmm
that talked about when she was 21 years old, just the things that she was doing for her community,
Right.
business set, at the age of 21, buying her
Right.
first house, because
hmm
she had never had a home. They always lived in apartments, owning a
Right.
movie store because she wanted her community to have a movie store close in vicinity, so they didn't
Right.
have to go out so far. So
hmm
she had
Just to rent
that
a movie.
business
Yeah.
mindset already. And so
From
being
a
in the
very
rap
young age.
game helped her and propelled her to be able to do and set out to do what she wanted to do. And so that's
Absolutely.
where I love that. I mean, and I went down the rabbit hole, like I said, of what started her out into this rap game, and who
hmm
Queen Latifah is today. So, I learned that she actually got her start in
Yep.
beatboxing for a
Beatboxing. Yep.
female group,
That's right. Beatbox.
Ladies Fresh, and
Ladies
that's who she
fresh.
started off with. And so it's just like,
Boy,
wow,
dude.
and so in the 80s,
I
that's how
remember
she
I had
started.
And when you say that, I remember when I had a beatbox crew, man. Dang, boy, I think I was like in the fifth grade or whatever. It's kind of unheard of for females to
Yeah.
beatbox. You know what I'm saying?
Look,
But
and that's how
I
I
can only
started my
imagine.
I mean, that was my introduction. I love beatbox. I mean, to this day, I mean, I still beat out little beats here and
Yeah, a
there,
little something,
you
something here and
know.
there. Yeah.
Even my little
So,
grandson, when he was like a little baby, I was just like, "Copy me," and he was just like,
yeah,
so it
exactly.
still lives.
It still lives. It carries on. It carries on.
Carries.
Believe it or not. I mean, there was a girl and her father. They would beatbox.
Yes.
You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness!
Yes.
They used to show this stuff
Yes.
on TikTok, Instagram, or whatever, and I'd be like,
Yes.
"Dude, that is so fly. That is so
Yes.
fly."
I mean, and
So
it
all of
still lives
these,
on.
it lives on.
Yes.
Whew,
Yes. And I mean, and to know that that's how she got her
gotta
start
start.
into the hip hop game. And then on top of
Right.
that, writing lyrics, and those lyrics is what actually propelled her into
Yeah.
actually getting her first song out.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
so her
With the
first
record deal and
album,
everything. Hmm.
it did. And so she got her first song released in 1989 with
Yeah.
Wrath of My Madness. So, I mean,
Right.
as they say, the rest is history. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
1989, Wrath of My Madness, sorry. And then, following that up with, songs of
Ladies
empowerment,
first.
UNITY, ladies first,
Hmm. Yep.
coming out with all of those. I mean, and I don't know if you knew it, but she was actually the first rapper to perform at the Super Bowl. She performed at Super Bowl
Really? What year?
32. Yep. Super Bowl 32. That was, what year was it? Let me see. That was, I have it. Let me get to my notes here. But she was the first to perform, and it was a Motown showcase
Oh, yeah,
that she
because she was
performed.
signed to Motown.
She was
She
signed to
was signed to
Motown.
Motown.
Hmm.
I actually
And
found that
so,
out when I went to Hitsfield, when I
yep.
went to the Motown Museum and I saw her picture because they have this
Hmm.
whole wall with all of the artists that have signed with Motown throughout the
Yep.
years. And she was there and I was like, Queen Latifah was signed to Motown. I was like,
Yep.
wow.
Yep.
I always
Yep.
thought she was on Jive, but she signed
Mm-mm.
with Motown.
No,
That's where
and
she
that
got her
Super
first
Bowl was in
record deal.
1998. And so,
98.
yep, 1998. And so 98. Yep. And so
Wow.
first one to perform in the Super Bowl, first rapper to perform in the Super Bowl. So not just
Oh,
female
not
or
even just
male,
female. Man, see
first
these are things that
rapper.
groundbreaking. Man, come on.
First
Okay.
rapper to perform in
Oh,
the Super Bowl. And I mean, and then on top of that, I mean, she has a lot of first under her
mm-hmm.
name. I mean, she was the
Yeah.
first hip hop artist to have a star on the Hollywood Walk of
The Walk
Fame.
of Fame. Yeah.
So I
Absolutely.
mean, the accolades that follow behind her and continue to follow behind her,
Yeah.
because I mean,
Exactly.
she's found success on the silver screen, she's found
Mm-hmm.
success on the small screen, and then on
Right.
top of that, I mean, she's producing her own stuff. She is,
Mm-hmm. Behind the camera.
signing artists behind the camera. So I
Yeah.
mean, this woman has done big things,
Production companies
and
and stuff.
and
This chick.
is breaking ceilings,
Barriers.
barriers, being the first to do these things. Because I mean, first talk show, you know.
Yeah, that's right. So
Mhm.
Queen really was made, she was really that stepping stone to launch
Mhm.
a lot of careers afterwards.
Yes,
When it
yes.
started looking like, yeah, I don't have a background in journalism. So yes,
Mhm.
I am, an actor, or I'm a TV actor, or I'm a movie actor, or you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I do rap, but I can also talk to people. I know a lot of people,
Mhm.
so
Yep.
it was cool the fact that she was able to approach things in that manner of just, hey, I
Mhm.
never thought about it. Let me do it. Let me just try it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Queen really set that tone for a lot of young ladies to think of
Yes.
themselves as an entrepreneur in this
Yes.
business. She
That
really did that.
and that's really the biggest thing, because she looked beyond just the rap game, beyond just hip hop. She looked at,
Right.
what can I do to propel myself even
Even
higher.
further. Right,
And that's
exactly.
what she did. I mean, like I said, just looking at some of the accolades that we've just spoken of, and being the first. to do
Mm-hmm.
these things, that speaks volumes. Because
Volumes
I mean, let's
loudly.
look at, you know, the rap artists that have followed
Hmm.
since
In those footsteps.
in
Yeah.
those footsteps and performing in the Super Bowl. I mean, let's look at what we just had in the last few years where we had West Coast rappers leading the Super
Yes.
Bowl, having Kendrick
Right.
Lamar
Right.
lead the Super Bowl, and then having
Right.
Bad Bunny
Funny.
lead the Super Bowl.
Whole
So,
nother, genre of music, but they're integrating
yes,
hip hop into this culture
yes,
that says, hey, you could do it if this person did it, so everybody's
yes,
standing on the shoulders of a giant, and just we keep
yes,
rising and keep cutting down and shattering that glass ceiling. And I think Queen
yes.
Latifah is one of those that is very, very impactful when it comes to what had this person left as far as a legacy and,
Mm-hmm.
added to the culture to further advance the
Yes.
culture forward. Queen Latifah really set the stage for that.
Advance the culture. Exactly. And then on top of that, and it's still doing it.
Yeah,
Because I mean, let's be honest. She is still doing it. She is
yeah,
still flowing, still rapping. She
right,
may have not released anything, in the hip hop arena, but
right.
you can still catch her, when artists invite her to do a
Mm-hmm.
set. She is still there and
Heck, I
still
just seen a
sounds,
video the other day. She's down there in Florida somewhere at some festival,
yeah,
rocking the mic, and I'm like,
rocking
look
the
at
mic,
La, man, that's
and
crazy.
still rocking the mic and still sounds good.
Good. That's
So
the
how
thing. Still
often can
sounds
you say
good.
that? But the accolades don't stop there. I mean, the woman has a Golden Globe. The
Yeah,
woman has a Screen Actors Guild Award.
Gil
She's been
Award.
nominated for Oscars. I
Yeah,
mean, let's look at what she did in Ma Rainey. Not Ma,
Not
not
Rainey.
Ma Rainey, but
Um,
Bet,
um, Bessie Smith. Bessie.
yes, Bessie. I mean,
Yeah.
a phenomenal film that, she put a lot of work, and let's be
Hmm.
honest, exposing yourself out there like she did in a
Yes.
film. I
Okay.
mean, not too many people will do that. And she has
Right.
put herself out there for the art of acting. So
Now,
she has put herself out there. Yes.
one movie one bio that I would love to see her play is Pearl Bailey, because to me I think they look similar, like they
Okay.
could have been related.
Okay.
So I would love to see Queen Latifah play Pearl Bailey's story.
And who knows? It may be coming.
It may be in the works.
It may be
Y'all
coming
heard it
because,
here.
because honestly, even with that, what I would love for her to do as well is play the godmother of rock and roll as well. The name
Oh, Big
escapes
Mama
me right
Thornton.
now. Yes, thank you. I would love for her to play that role as well because I think she
Yeah,
would kill it.
yeah,
So there's so many opportunities that she jumps to, and I mean, and she's doing it big, and I
yeah,
give her kudos so much for it. I mean, so
yeah.
much because she's
She's
doing it nonstop, and so many people are following behind her. I mean, let's go into the next person. I mean, Eve. Eve is following behind those
ah.
footsteps. You know,
Yes, yes. I mean,
yeah.
it's like what Eve has done. Again, you can clearly see that she is following the breadcrumbs that Queen Latifah left
Mhm.
behind.
Yeah.
And so she
Yeah.
kind of picked that mantra up and ran with it as well. Queen
Mhm.
Latifah, Eve doesn't
Eve.
get the credit that I really do feel that she deserves for really being influential with being one of the first ladies of the Rough Riders, and just
Mhm.
that whole being with all these guys, and she came out and
Yeah.
just couldn't be weak with it. She had to come as
Nah.
hard as DMX, so she had to come as hard as these
Mhm.
guys,
Yep.
to kind of stand on merit. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like it wasn't about, she kept it sexy. Now,
Mhm.
she kept it sexy, but it wasn't like it was
Mhm.
going to be all sexy. She had
Mhm.
substance in her bite,
Yeah, she
which
had
I
a
thought that
tight
was
flow.
clever. Yeah, she
Yeah,
had
she had a
great
tight flow,
wordplay.
came
Yeah,
hard, and
yeah.
could go toe to toe with
With
any
any guy.
rapper, male or
Mm-hmm.
female. So,
Exactly.
so that's where I give Eve mad props. And I mean, and even
Right.
with her first debut album, I
Yeah.
mean, she with, Let There Be Eve, Rough Riders First Lady, she was the third female rapper to top the Billboard
Oh,
200
yeah.
charts.
Right.
Third. So, and that was all within that whole 97, 98, 99,
Right before we start
realm.
getting into the 2000s, that
Right in
particular
there,
period.
because before her was Lauryn Hill and then Foxy Brown with China Doll. So,
So, okay.
so yeah, so you've got
Yeah.
Eve coming in, a newbie with her
Hmm.
debut album coming in that hard,
And then
and
wasn't even from New York. So you got to take that
nah,
in.
she was from
This is
Philly.
Philly. This is
This is
Philly.
Philly.
So a
Yeah.
whole nother demographic, a whole nother region
Yep, a
entering
whole
this
different style.
genre. And
Yeah.
everybody's got to be like, okay, well, what's she, because she ain't from Bed-Stuy, she ain't from da-da-da, she ain't from Brooklyn.
Nah.
What's she talking about? How are we going to
Nah.
relate? And it just opened up again, just
Hmm.
another, it was just like, it just cast a net to get
Yeah.
more folks to say, oh, wow, okay, well,
Yeah.
tell me some more about North Philly or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it was
Yeah.
just like, she invited us into another geographic area of the map and wanted us to
Hmm.
focus attention on what they were doing in Philly. Or you
Yeah.
could relate with that in Atlanta or in Compton or
Yeah.
whatever. Because you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It was just chef's kiss. I
Yeah.
appreciate
I
what
mean,
she
it
was able to
was.
do for the culture. I really
It
do.
was because again, she came in hard. She stood on business. But then on
Yeah.
top of that, like you said, she brought in the sexy element, but that wasn't, she had the look, but that was not what she
The
stood
main
on.
focus. Yeah, that was like a little
Yes.
appetizer to hit you with this.
Yes, yes. And
Yes.
that's really what it was. And so that's where she kind of just, she let the lyrics speak for her and she
Right.
came in hard. And that's what she did. And that's where I
Right.
really love it. But then on top of that, some of her rhymes were empowering. Love
Right.
is
Mm-hmm.
blind. And then on top of that, showcasing domestic abuse. You didn't have
Exactly.
so many female artists showcasing that type of
That
uh
side.
that side, yes, and having a window to that and what women go through and the
Right.
silence that many women hold,
Mm-hmm.
trying to just get by and just let it pass.
Right.
And so that's where I can appreciate her even more, by putting that on a pedestal and talking about it. And
Exactly.
so, and then her, navigating into film, her navigating into having, her own sitcom as well.
Right.
So, so again, another female who stood on business. And then I
Stood on
think
business.
you shared it with me that she's coming out with new music too.
She's supposed to be coming out. She's working on new music right now. She's supposed to be in the studio. New music is supposed to be dropping. I even think she even dropped a book. So I think she has a memoir that is coming out as well called "Who's That Girl." So correct me
Mm.
if I'm wrong, but I did see a little bit of a promo on socials about that. So
Okay.
more to come on that if it's not already out. But yeah, I am going to definitely support whatever Eve has coming out on the
Yeah.
horizon for her because again, she's not celebrated enough for me.
She's not. She's
She's not
not.
recognized enough for her contributions to the culture. Yeah,
Yeah. And so then so that leads me to this. How
yeah.
did female rappers influence how women show up in the culture today?
Well, I think that's a great question because I really do believe that we are seeing that with the 300 odd thousand so odd black women that just got let go with all their jobs. That culture is allowed them to transcend and make it into some of these high places. And when
Yeah.
you think about black jobs, the jobs that black women are holding, we are holding those
Hmm.
particular jobs. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I think the culture empowered us to let us know to not think in a bubble or, to think
Hmm.
outside of the box, shoot for higher ground. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's no ceiling, there's no cap.
Hmm.
It's just the cap that you
Yeah.
put on it. So
Hmm.
I think by us seeing female judges, Ketanji Brown Jackson, I would like to say hip hop was a tribute to that, or what these females did in some way or fashion, a
Hmm.
way shaped her culture. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, but again, when you look at what the black women, the female MCs have done in hip hop, it is really just giving us a new lease on life as females and saying that, hey, we're in charge of our own destiny. And if you
Mm-hmm.
want to become something or leave a legacy, it takes you. The effort is you. You cannot stand in your way. Shoot for
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is that you want. Dream,
Yeah.
dream. Just your sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I really think
Yeah.
being able to see these women up there, either on screen or on the small screen
Mm-hmm.
or behind, a camera or,
Mm-hmm.
writing a book or again, whatever it may
Yes.
be, doing a talk show. I think we are seeing these women in different facets. We're not just,
Mm-hmm.
confined to doing one particular job. And I think
Yeah.
that's what helps shape us as we kind of navigated growing up with hip hop. I always say,
Mm-hmm.
because that's our
Yeah.
generation kind of grew up with hip hop. So allowing
Yeah.
us to see these females, and I think that's why presentation and presence is needed so much now with in regards to the females that are in hip hop, which kind of allows
Mm-hmm.
us to pivot forward talking about Megan Thee Stallion and
Mm-hmm.
what they've added to uh, the culture. So
Yeah.
how are they taking the torch and running forward with it? How are they holding up the mantle? Let's talk
And
about it.
and and you make a great point, because one of the things I will say is this, is that presentation, seeing yourself matters. And that's one of the things, where you have Queen Latifah, seeing her on the screen, you know seeing yourself matters. And when you
Right.
can see yourself on the screen, that speaks volumes, and you can be your
Mm-hmm.
authentic self.
Exactly.
And seeing Eve do her thing, again, being hard, but you can have that feminine side as well, because not
Right.
everybody may be you may be a tomboy. Let's just say it. You may be a tomboy
Yeah.
who wants to hang with the fellas, but you're wearing a skirt. She gave you
Right.
that representation out there, and
That is
that
cool.
speaks volumes. So
Right.
representation matters, and being able to see that. So I love that twist that you put on there by saying, hey, seeing them, you know, pave the way for people to say, hey, the sky is the limit. And also, take a seat at the table. Bring your own chair. Make
Bring
your
your own
own,
chair.
build your own table. So
That's
I
right.
love that. I really love that. And then that leads me to one of the other artists that I really think shaped hip hop, and also not being afraid to be your authentic self and speaking about topics that were at one time taboo, especially in the black community. And that's salt and pepper. Salt and pepper. Uh,
Yes. Absolutely.
because you did not have, you know, rap artists, male or female at the time, talking about sex, things like
Mm-hmm.
that, and having a message behind it. It wasn't all just, oh, well, let's do sex, let's have it, let's do it, let's blah blah blah.
Right. Right.
There was a message behind it. And Salt and Pepper, if you've taken the time to really listen to their music, you hear that message
Yeah.
in the background. If you really pay attention to it, you can hear that
Think
message.
about it.
Yeah, it was fun, it was a party, but yet they had a message as well.
They had a message. Even when you think about Tramp and the way that song was about this
Yeah.
dude, but he was just like everywhere, So they even
Mhm.
they even poke fun of the guy that was with everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like be on the lookout for this dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was the things that they did. It was clever, but it was real. It
Mhm.
was really what women talked about. Like, oh my God, I
Yeah.
heard he was with such and such. And then you get
Yeah.
into what it was about let's talk about sex. So they was
Let's talk
even
about
free
sex.
with that. You know what I'm saying? Just
Mhm.
like let's talk about it. Why are
Yep.
we being so blase about it? Because
Mhm.
folks out here doing it,
Yep.
and so we need to talk about it. And I love how they even taking that right now. I remember it was a whole big old thing. It was like taboo. Oh my God, they made this
Mhm.
song,
Yep.
but not once did they curse.
Nope.
Not once did they say anything that was vulgar. So even in
Exactly.
its tastefulness today, when you listen with
Mm-hmm.
today's ears, you're like, and you guys were saying this is top, like, woo, like they went too far,
Mm-hmm.
like, and then compared to what we're hearing now, it's like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, because let's talk about sex. I mean, they were promoting, having that conversation with that person that you're with. You know,
right.
talk about the pros and cons. Be safe about it.
Be safe
You know,
about it. Safe sex in a certain way without being too preachy. It was
hmm
classic. It was
it
nice.
was class and it was needed because remember
Right.
that song came out at the time when the AIDS and HIV
AIDS epidemic
epidemic was really
was
affecting the
growing.
Black community. And
That's
so that
right.
song came out at a perfect time to just really put it in perspective to say,
Mm-hmm.
look, y'all need to
Let's
sit
talk
and
about
talk
this
about
thing. We
this.
need to sit down
And
and talk about
so,
this. Yeah.
yeah.
Because it's
And
killing
so,
some of our folks. You know what I'm saying? So we
yes,
really need to think about what we're doing out here.
yes,
It promoted
yeah,
conversation. Again, they moved the needle, like you said. This was a rap group.
yes.
Not even men were having conversations on
Mm-hmm.
that level.
Yep,
And it
they
was
were
the
not.
females that recognized that we have a situation that's brewing in our culture and in our
Mm-hmm.
community that I think that we need to be women. We all women enough. We can sit down and talk about
Yep.
this thing. And again,
Yes.
not once did they curse in this song.
Nope.
Not once did they become vulgar in their delivery. It was
Mm-hmm.
perfect. It
Yep.
was perfect, and it's something that stuck with a lot of us in our generation. And
Mm-hmm.
again, it's like those kind of things we need to be mindful. But you went on as far as to say that we do still see that, from time to
Mm-hmm.
time, even with the younger generation that is now being represented as the representation of the
Mm-hmm.
culture. When you said that Cardi B will make a statement,
Mm-hmm.
around supporting cultural issues, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, so it's still not being lost in translation when we
Mm-hmm.
look at those kind of things as far as the conversation as to
Yeah.
are the females that are currently present in the genre now still holding up to what
Mm-hmm.
was laid as the foundation. And so it's safe to say
Yeah.
that, yeah, in some cases that it is being held to, high regard, where they're still
Yeah.
keeping that in the forefront. So
Yeah, and they were doing this before social media.
yeah,
So, so that speaks volumes. And so, looking at their catalog of songs and their career, I mean, rightfully so. They deserve their 2025 induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
yes, they do, absolutely.
They are the first female rap group to achieve gold and platinum. So,
Hmm.
from 1986. So, I mean, again, and then in 2021, they got the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. So
Right,
that shows you right there what they've done and how
right,
they've really put the hip hop culture on their shoulders, especially with being a rap group. Because let's be
right. A
honest,
duo,
groups
right?
don't
Yeah,
last long,
they
and I
don't.
refuse to call it a duo because I still include Spinderella.
Yeah,
Spinderella's
yeah,
my
we gotta
girl.
include Spinderella, right?
Spinderella's
Exactly,
my girl.
exactly,
I was a fan of
exactly.
Spinderella.
I was too. I was too. And that's another thing to kind of see her being doing the turntables. That was like,
hmm
I never saw that
Yes,
before. So again, because I
yes,
identified with her, I'm like, oh my God, if she can do it, I can do it.
yes.
And I'm like,
See,
dude,
exactly. Yes.
again, these are things that representation
hmm
matters. It
Yes.
does. You have to see it. You have to see it.
hmm Yes, and I mean, and that's where with all of these artists that we've spoke of, they've paved the way for your Megan Thee Stallions. They've
Mm-hmm.
paved the way for your Cardi B's and your Glorillas and your Erica Masons and your
Yes.
Aries and
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 your
other
Ariel
artists like
J,
that.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ariel J's,
Your
and so
Chica.
and your Chica, yes. And so, and so they've paved the way for those. And, and I do want to add to this list of MCs is Bahamadia, because that's
Oh, yes,
another artist.
Bahamadia, baby.
That's another artist who
Woo! Does
does
not get enough
not
flowers.
get
Does
enough
not.
recognition. She
Credit.
does not get her flowers. She does not get enough credit to what she's
Yes.
done, because I mean, honestly, for me, she was really that Kickstarter with that whole neo soul
Hip
lyric
hop, trip
flow,
hop,
hip
whatever you want to
hop.
call it. Yeah.
Exactly. Because I
That
mean,
trip
I
hop
confess,
genre, that was her. Yeah. That
yes,
melodic
because when
flow.
she came out with I Confess, I mean, I will
Ooh,
never forget. I bought the single and wore
that's
that
it.
sucker out. So,
And pour it out.
you
And
know,
pour it
and
out.
I mean, so again, another artist who, you know, and on top of that, seeing someone who I really felt looked that I looked
Look
like
like me. I can, yeah,
look
exactly. She resonated
looked
with
like
me, you know?
me. Yes. You know, because I mean, she wasn't wearing all of the makeup. This chick was rocking a fro, wearing the baggy clothes, and just,
Clothes, button up,
you know,
wasn't showing all the cleavage and things like that. You know, some
yeah,
women didn't have all that happening. Whatever,
yeah,
no tons of makeup. You know, it was
yeah.
just her. You know what I'm
It was
saying?
just
Just
her and
a natural
in the
state.
music. And so that's where I just want to give this woman a shout out, because like I said,
Yes,
I want to give this woman
for
flowers,
sure.
because again, she is another
Yes,
one who really just really just placed the needle with hip hop, because no one was
right.
doing what she was doing.
That's
And
right.
and
100%.
that's where I just want to say, give this woman her flowers,
Flowers like
because
she
the
deserves.
woman
I'm
had a
telling you.
style like no other, and
Right.
she brought it each and
And
every
she
single
did.
time. And that was a woman who, an artist who was doing it for the music, not for the
Yes, absolutely. That was definitely
accolades,
for the
but for the
culture.
music. Yes,
Definitely for the
for the
culture.
music.
It was just completely good art that we were
Yes,
watching her do. I mean, man,
yes,
Muhammad Dia, she had a flow
yes,
like was just
yes. But
so
you
dope.
know, and then you know, to turn to some modern day, you know, and we've said her name, Megan Thee Stallion. You
Mm-hmm.
know, this is someone whose mother was a rapper as well. So old school.
Yeah.
So you know, and you can tell in her style that is old school hip
Yeah.
hop. You can tell by that
Exactly. You can
cadence
tell it.
of
You can
how
tell
she flows.
it. You
And
can
so
tell
that's
it.
where it's like, love her or hate her, you got to give her some respect,
Right.
because
You do.
she brings it hard. She
Yeah.
really
She
really
do. She
does.
do. She do. She do.
So, you know, and on top of that, you know, what I will say with Megan Thee Stallion is that she does, you know, she does philanthropy work for Texas, and I love that she
Mm-hmm.
gives back to her community, but also she makes sure that she's empowering other women, especially with what
Right.
she went through, you know,
Right.
recently. And so she has not let that fall to the wayside.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's where I can appreciate Megan Thee Stallion and say, keep doing what you're doing. And, you know, because I mean, she really came to fame with really propelling herself in social media.
Yeah.
That's how she did it.
Absolutely.
You
That's
know,
how she did it. Yeah.
YouTube, dropping tracks,
Mm-hmm.
SoundCloud, and people started hearing it. People started listening to it. You know, 7 million, you know, several million listens later, the rest is
Right.
history. You
Right.
know,
Right.
and so, and this is a person who's used, you know, her sexuality, and is not afraid to be her authentic self. And so that's where
Yes.
I say, hey, kudos to you, girl, because I mean, you know, her, Cardi B, they're doing it, but they're also using their platform to be positive and empowering,
Right.
and
Right.
acknowledging their fan base. Because again, that's another thing, acknowledging your
Mm-hmm.
fan base, because it's your
Mm-hmm.
fans that got you where you
That
are.
that propelled you where you are. Right. Exactly.
Yes.
So, what are you doing? Are you going to still try to? I look at it as a it's almost like a contract. I'm
Mm-hmm.
producing this, and you're supposed to consume it. So
Mm-hmm.
every so often, I need to check in with the person who is consuming to make sure that they're
Mm-hmm.
getting not just fed, but are you being properly fed and nurtured?
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting the nutrition? So I think that when these artists are putting out good work, what they need to do is focus on that and check in with the person that is consuming what you get putting down, because we want to make sure
Mm-hmm.
that they're picking it up, and that
Yep.
when they pick it up, it's not just okay, this person just put out something.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
want to be able to feel something, resonate with them, connect with them, kind of
Mhm.
platonically. Try to think about, man, I wonder what kind of mindset they were in when they throw
Mhm.
this body of work out. That kind of thing. So we want
Yeah.
to make sure that we know it's a contractual thing when you
Mhm.
have the musician and then the person who loves the art.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
a contract between the two.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Absolutely. Absolutely.
and so I really do believe that these young girls here, the young ladies, females that are in this genre right now, I think they have a good um, sense of where the pulse of the culture is moving towards. I think they have a
Mhm.
great eye on that. They're able to
Mhm.
capitalize on that, and they're able to pivot where they need to see fit to in order to be able to be of substance to
Yeah.
the community. And I think that
Yeah.
they have a
And it
good it resonates. You can see it. You can see it
Yeah,
in the
and they've
culture.
got a good foundation, and it starts
Yeah,
with the artists that we've talked about: the Queen Latifahs, the Bahamadia, the
the
Eves,
MC Lights
the
and
Salt and
the
Pepper, the
yeah
MC Lights. Yeah, and
yeah
even Yo Yo. So we can't even
Yo
forget
Yo
to say about
Missy.
Yo Yo as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Lady
so
of
they've
Rage.
got a good. Oh gosh, Lady of Rage. Can't even forget about
Right.
her because I mean
Can't
she
forget
paid.
about her. Yeah.
So
Right.
so we can't, and I mean, even going to some of the lesser who really didn't get a chance to really have a big career or lasting career. Mia X, can't
Oh
even forget about
yes.
her.
Can't forget about
So
Mia
I
X.
mean,
Or
so
Gangsta Boo, baby.
oh
Gangsta.
gosh.
Oh, rest in peace. Gangsta Boo.
So yeah, so
Gangsta
I mean,
Boo.
so the work is out there. You just really have to look at what they did and really
Mm-hmm.
look at the history of female hip hop and how it resonates. And honestly, let's be honest, it resonates because
Yeah.
we see the history and we're seeing how it has lasted for all of these years, and it will continue to grow. And
So what
especially
would
with
you
the
say
fact
is
that
the
many,
legacy of women in hip hop?
oh,
One word.
woof,
One word.
infinite,
Oh, love it. That's the word I was thinking.
infinite, infinite. Because I mean,
Infinite.
let's be honest. I mean, we have women who have been in this game, known and unknown, for
Mm-hmm.
years and have done the work. Who have broken their back for hip hop, for the culture,
Right.
and you have those artists who may uh, never be known, but they still hustle and do the work,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
on top of that, you have those artists who have found themselves as well. I mean, we haven't even mentioned her, Missy Elliott. We haven't even talked
Of
about the
course.
work that she's done and how she's been an innovator with, just to be honestly, to make hip hop and rap fun, because
Exactly.
no one was doing the type of videos that
That
she
she
was
was
doing,
doing.
the artistic work that she was
Bringing
doing and
a
putting
funny
into her.
side to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Almost
and
childlike.
so yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and again, another artist who is rightfully deserved to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
Yeah. That
or
was Missy
or
Elliott.
even
Mm-hmm.
Debrat, who an
Yeah.
LGBTQ artist. I mean, granted, she wasn't out during that time when she was in the
Mm-hmm.
mainstream, but
Right.
but again, another artist who was if you want to say, came hard, baggy clothes. We weren't really seeing
Mm-hmm.
that,
Right.
and then on top of that, another artist who doesn't really get the flowers that she deserves with the rap that she did is Left Eye as well. So,
Oh yeah,
so
Left Eye. Oh my goodness. Yes.
yeah. So,
Left Eye.
yeah.
Brilliant
So, I
lyricist.
mean, so with these artists that we're naming, that's why I say infinite, because I mean, we've got
Yeah.
the artists, and JJ Fad. We hadn't even said anything about them, you know.
Ladybug
So,
Mecca. Ladybug Mecca from
Sister
Digable Planets.
Soldier.
Man, Ladybug had
Yeah.
flow.
Yes, and Sister
A lot.
Soldier. We can't forget about her
Yeah,
too.
these
So
they had bars.
again,
Mm-hmm.
they had bars, and so again, that's why I say infinite. Because
Mm-hmm.
again, we've gone from past to present, and the sky is endless with the
Yeah.
rap artists that we're seeing now. Like I said,
Yeah.
Erica Mason, Ariel
Yeah.
J.
Big
Right
J.
now I'm bumping Glow
Woo.
88. Like, there's a glow on me. I'm just
Yeah.
like, what? Or Erica Mason
Yo.
with her
Erica Mason is
empowering
hard.
lyrics. And I mean, and the flow
Mm-hmm.
is so tight. And so
I love royalty.
the sky is there's no limit, and
Yeah,
these women
exactly.
are making their whole they're making the house, they are building the house, so
Oh,
that
they building
way they are
communities now.
getting.
These
There
females
you
are bringing
go,
they
building
building communities.
communities,
They're not just
building
bringing the house.
communities.
They bringing a community. That's what these women are building. They
And I
forging
like that.
communities.
I like
Yes.
that. And so
I
then
mean,
here's my last question for you then.
okay.
So I've already said who I give my flowers to. Who would you
Ah,
give flowers to for one artist today? Who should get it?
wow, today.
Mm-hmm. If you
Hmm.
could give flowers to one artist today, who would you give those flowers to? Past or present?
Oh, past or present. Okay, I was about to
Past or
say.
present?
Yeah,
Past or present?
I would have to say Ladybug Mecca. I mean, I like Ladybug Mecca
Okay.
from the digital Diggable Planets. She was fly.
She
She had
was.
her Jane. She
She
had her
did.
own way of doing it, So she
Yeah,
had her Jane. She really
she
did.
did.
So I mean, I want to give her flowers because she did some stuff that was dope. It was
And she
dope. It was
still got the
different.
flow too. She still
Yeah,
got the
she still
flow.
got
She was on
and
the
they don't never
on
say
front
anything
porch.
about her, but she was
Yeah,
dope. She was really
yeah,
dope.
yeah. And you can catch her on the front porch if you've ever seen those. She
Oh,
still
she
has
did
that
front porch
flow.
too.
She did front porch with Diggable Planet, and
Oh,
still
okay.
looks good. Still got that
Yeah.
flow. So I was like,
Okay.
okay, girl, I see you.
Yeah,
So
man.
yeah,
And this another one. They were
okay.
like that jazzy. I mean, it's
Yes.
like if you wanted to listen to some rap, but then you was like, okay, I
Mhm.
just don't want to go real hard.
And
Like I
and
want a
and
little jazzy with it because I want to be,
yes.
I'm like, I want to be chill though. You know what I'm
And that's what I loved about them. And that's a
saying?
conversation for another day. But yeah, I love Diggable
Yeah, yeah.
Planet. I mean that if we're gonna talk about Renaissance,
We need to talk about
that was
that.
that was
Yeah,
that was that whole.
that
But
was
we're
it.
gonna say that for
We're
another
gonna say
day.
that for another conversation. We're gonna definitely say that for another conversation,
but
guys.
but
But
yeah.
that wraps it
So
for this week's episode
yes,
of the Vibe Theory, guys. And if you enjoyed this conversation, please make sure to like, share, subscribe
yes,
to our YouTube channel at Vibe Theory Podcast so that you never
yes,
miss a drop. And as always, don't forget to follow us through on all of the social media platforms at Vibe Theory. And we're keeping the conversation going all week. So please tap in,
yes,
stay connected, and keep the energy flowing. Until
yes.
next time, guys, stay vibing and peace.
Peace.